More on this, joining me now live from Los Angeles is Haytham Faraj. He's a retired Marine Corps officer and also a lawyer. Great to have you here with us on TRT World. So the messaging coming from the United States is confusing, is it not? Because we keep hearing conflicting statements from the top leadership of the United States. Donald Trump has already backpedaled on multiple statements. And I just listened to the interview of Benjamin Netanyahu that he gave to Fox News. And whenever he was pressed by the anchor on this question about to what extent Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu see eye to eye when it comes to Israeli attacks on Iran, he kept repeating this phrase that I am the Prime Minister of Israel and I have to do whatever is in the interest of my country, and Donald Trump is the President of the United States and he has to do whatever is in the interest of the American people. So this possibly indicates there is some sort of friction going on between the two leaders.
Yes, Jaffa, thank you for having me. I don't know about friction, but there's certainly different strategic objectives. Netanyahu has always had a desire to disrupt the Iranian regime and to use the U.S. to do it. Trump is reluctant to engage in new wars. That doesn't mean that he wouldn't like the downfall of the Iranian regime, but he has military advisors and generals who know the cost of war. And the strategic objective of bringing down the regime would be far too costly and probably unsuccessful if the U.S. were to attack Iran. And so it wouldn't make sense for the U.S. to participate. However, that doesn't mean that Trump didn't say, go ahead and try. And now that Netanyahu has gone ahead and tried and finds himself in a quagmire, is asking for the U.S. to come to his rescue.
So where do you see this is heading to right now?
Well, look, it's difficult to assess the battle damage. We know we see the pictures coming out of Israel, and as I said a few days ago, Iran is able to sustain for much longer than Israel. It has the missiles necessary to continue for a long time. It has the geographical depth. It has the continuity in military staff and experience. Israel has some of that, but it's a much smaller geographic location. Israelis are not used to wars where they suffer casualties and destruction. And I think that's why you have this near total blackout from Israeli media or on Israeli media, because they don't want their population to find out what's happening. So I think short term, you're going to continue to see these exchanges. But I think in the next week or two, we are going to have the conditions, I think, to negotiate some sort of ceasefire. Trump wants to call it peace deal. It's not a peace deal. It'll be a ceasefire, and Israel will be the loser.
Haytham, based on what you have seen up until now, let's do some damage assessment. Who do you think has an upper hand right now?
Well, certainly strategically, it's the Iranians. That doesn't mean that the Israelis aren't targeting and effectively targeting. The Mashhad airport targeting today, 2,400, 2,500 kilometers away. Today, I heard reports of car explosions in neighborhoods, which means they have agents on the inside wreaking havoc. They've hit apartment buildings. It sounds like they've hit the Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And so it doesn't mean that the Israelis aren't targeting, and probably effectively. However, because of the vast geographic distance of Iran, because of how the innumerable number of missiles, and I really mean innumerable, no one in the intelligence community can say how many missiles Iran has, and I don't know that the Iranians know. They produce them themselves, they store them, they can move them. And so what that sets the stage for is an Israel that is incapable of sustaining long-term, and long-term means more than a couple of weeks, so long as the Iranian government remains in place, the existing government. Now, if Israel is somehow successful in turning the Iranian people against the government, then that would change, I think, the outlook. But that doesn't, from my information, It looks to me like the Iranian people, all of them, even people in the opposition, have rallied around their government for now.
Right. Fascinating insights, Haytham Faraj. Thanks very much for joining me here on TRT World. I really appreciate your taking out the time.
Thank you, Jafar. Thanks for having me.